Your call is important to us. Please hold the line.
All operators are busy at the moment. We apologize for the wait and will answer you shortly. Our operators are busy at the moment. Your call is being transferred. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, buddy. It's that time, folks. We're back. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hotline Live. Here we are. Ready. We're ready. We're ready to go into the fog. Today we are joined in studio by the man, the myth, the legend, the person who I think John Murdy's your number one fan here, Nico. Nico from the Entertainment Connection. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing good, man. Super excited to get through this. Dude, shout out to Sam. Sam, I see you, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Sam. Lex, hell yeah, man. Here we go. Marco, right off the bat, the hanging. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Yes, we will.
We have a ton to talk about today, and I'm super excited. But before we get into all that, I'm getting ahead of myself here. First of all, Nico,
yes.
What did you think of the reveal event that they had? Nightmares revealed the other night. We were there together, and I personally think it was a pretty damn good time. How'd you like it, man?
It was a very good time. I will say that just not starting the event later kind of threw everything off a little bit. So I know it's only like 20 minutes or so, but like it was crunch time. Like towards the end of the presentation, I was like, I need to run to the store because it's gonna get insane.
It was a little bit of a rush. But I think all in all, I was pretty happy that I got to do for the most part everything that I wanted to do. I mean, it was cool just getting the event in the first place. Honestly, I mean, it was a nice little surprise.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, all in all, though, pretty fun, man. I'm glad that we got to experience that together. It was packed too.
Absolutely.
Tons of people out there. Tons of people out there. I really love it.
For those of you who haven't or didn't get to go, the Legacy store, the line pretty much filled up all of Waxworks' queue and then went all the way to the exit of Ghost Rider. So the queue was insane. It was a long line. They had to close it off at I think 9:00 to get everybody in.
Yeah, which, by the way, folks, if you want to go to the Legacy store, if you didn't get to go on preview night, it is now fully open, so you can go pretty much at any time with the park. I went the other day, and man, it is gorgeous. It is beautiful.
Yes.
I bought a ton of merch. I'm not even done yet. I had to kind of restrain myself. I'm not even done. There's so much to buy. There's so much to see. There's so much to do.
Yes.
Bring your lantern if you have a lantern. If you bought one of these beautiful bad boys right here.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Bring it with you because there are things that activate in the Legacy store, which is a lot of fun. So
I heard there's only 2 things right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what unless you... No, I won't tell you. Figure it out. Be surprised.
All right, with that out of the way, we're going to get into everything that was revealed at the Not Scary Farm Nightmares Revealed event. We've got 3 new mazes, 1 new scare zone, a couple new shows. We're going to get right into it, and little tidbits of news here and there. But we're going to start with the granddaddy of them all, I think, the Chilling Chambers. This first new maze is going to be located in Camp Snoopy, which was formerly Pumpkin Eater. It is designed by John Cook, Ted Doherty, and Gus Kruger, and it is homage. It's an homage to the 10 Chilling Chambers. In pretty much in just the name alone, the 10 Chilling Chambers was considered or is considered pretty much the very first maze at Not Scary Farm. So it's pretty cool that they chose that as a theme. It's a tribute maze, which is hosted by the Keeper, who is, kind of a play on Sinister Seymour. And the Keeper is going to be our narrator, guiding us through these old mazes. And it's also very similar to, I guess in the 25th anniversary, they had a compilation maze that was very similar, where you walk through little portions of past mazes. This is going to be doing pretty much the same thing, and there are going to be a ton, and I mean a ton, of Easter eggs. Stuff that is probably going to go over my head, to be honest with you, because it's years of history. But yeah, 10 Chilling Chambers. Nico, what are your thoughts on this one, man?
All right, so I want to start off first that I love the name of the maze. The Chilling Chambers, it's perfect. It has that nostalgia. It's like, just look at that art. It's going to be fantastic. I was afraid they were going to go the route of the 25th anniversary, where it was called 25 Years of Fears maze. So I like that it's called the Chilling Chambers. I'm stoked that the underground is in there, the doll factory, the asylum, and carnival of carnivorous clowns.
Good old C3.
And I think this is gonna be the maze. Even though I'm not 100, I have other new mazes that I'm more excited for, but I think this is gonna be the maze.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely seem to be pulling out all the stops with this one. I mean, Not Scary Farm has had a rich history of event icons, and for them to invent a new one for the 50th with the Keeper, I think, is pretty damn exciting. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to see this one. It's going to be pretty much the first one you can hit right when you walk into the park.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely expect this one to be quite busy, especially seeing how it's right at the front. So be prepared, folks.
Yep.
Plan accordingly.
I think the location is great for it, though, because I thought this maze was going to be over in the boardwalk.
Right.
So I think front of the park, you have that nice tribute to all the years photo op at the... What is
Where the
it?
Skelly Boys are, right? At the
Yeah. And then just to the right, you have the Chilling Chambers. I think it's perfect.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So pretty excited for this one. Next up on the list, I think, is probably the one that I'm the most hyped for, perhaps. I don't know. It's hard to decide, but Cinema Slasher. This one is going to be located in the Boardwalk Ballroom. It is replacing Dark Ride, which, rest in peace. I really loved Dark Ride. Designed by John, Ted, Ken Parks, and Daniel Miller. We will be entering the Midnight Theater's Trio of Terror Horror Film Festival. So it's going to be 3 fictional movies inspired by past mazes. Trick or Treat, which is going to be the classic sorority house slasher. Camp Gonna Get You, which was a log ride overlay, but this is going to be our classic, Jason, camp horror. And then Slaughterhouse, which, of course, has had 2 past variations, but this one's going to be your gore house, over-the-top gore. Think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, along those lines. So we're going to be chased by the Slasher of the Dark, which is inspired by a character from years past, the Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. They did an overlay there. He's very slightly inspired by one of those characters. And also, I don't know if you remember, but there used to be a skeleton key room called Slasher, and it is very lightly inspired by that as well. So we're going to go through the screen, and we're going to be trapped in the movies. Will we make it out? I don't know, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Nico?
Okay, so this is our second unofficial tribute maze.
Right.
So Chilling Chambers is like the actual tribute maze. This is an unofficial tribute maze. Yeah, I already said that. But but I remember my first year at Scary Farm was, I believe, 2000.
Nice.
And Camp Gonna Getcha was there.
Nice.
That was the final year for Camp Gonna Getcha. And my dad didn't want to go on the log ride, so I missed out on it.
Oh.
So I'm excited that I get to go into Camp Gonna Getcha and actually have some type of experience with something from the past that I didn't get to do.
Oh, it'll be an experience, all right.
Yes. And my question is like with Trick or Treat, because we have the tricksters.
Right.
Are we going to have the tricksters in the maze scaring along with the slasher in the dark? Or is it just going to be the slasher? And which Trick or Treat are we going to get? Are we going to get the Brooke Walters version, which was more, I wouldn't say family friendly, but it was more
whimsical.
Cartoony, yeah.
Sure, yeah, very whimsical, very theatrical, yeah.
Or are we going to get John Cook's revised version where it was dark and scary and like it was terrifying.
I hope we get a little bit of a lights out section in there.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, when they did that overlay, first of all, the new facade for that, no knock on Brooks' Trick or Treat facade, but the one that John did for Lights Out was just mwah. I mean, come on.
It was fantastic.
Beautiful. Gorgeous facade.
Same with Slaughterhouse, because Slaughterhouse the first couple of years it was a dark, gory, intense maze.
Right.
But it still had that little like punny side to it.
Sure.
Where it wasn't 100% serious. But then like the last 2 years, it was intense. It was dark. Walking through that big room with the conveyor belts going all around you.
Oh yeah, man.
Super intense. So are we gonna get that version, or are we gonna like? I'm just super excited to see what this maze is going to be about. I think this is my number one.
I don't think I can officially say it yet because I haven't decided yet, but it's the hype is real. I mean, listen, Daniel Miller the past couple of years has been killing it, right? Waxworks,
yes,
gory, scary, unsettling, Mesmer. I mean, what a trip! What a true trip. So I can only
He is the gore master of Scary Farm.
Oh yeah, the Slaughterhouse portion is going to be wild.
Like this isn't a bash on Gus Kruger at all, because I enjoyed Dead of Winter. It wasn't perfect by any sense, but
sure,
I enjoyed it. But then Daniel Miller took it over and just made it a gore fest with the Wendigo, and so on and so forth. So I'm excited to see the gore aspect of cinema slasher.
And plus, I'm a big movie fan. I love going to the movies.
Yeah,
you know, I'm there basically weekly. You know, I love that, and I love the concept of getting tossed into the screen and then having to kind of fight for your life trying to get through the movie. I mean, honestly, I think it's freaking phenomenal. I'm going to check in the comments here. This is kind of fun. My husband's first year as a scare actor, and cinema slasher is his maze. That is pretty awesome. Yeah, pretty awesome. Sam, I'm conflicted on which one I'm more excited for. It's hard, dude.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
I'm not even sure that cinema slasher is my number one. But after talking about it, I was like, ooh, I'm pretty stoked for that.
Yeah, definitely.
But then talking about Chilling Chambers, I was like, yeah, let's
I can't decide. Ariana, this year is such a perfect love letter to Scary Farm. I agree.
Absolutely.
I was very surprised by how they were including old Knott's Mazes and cinema slasher. I think it's a nice homage to the history. And I love that they're doing it, man.
I wonder if we're gonna get any Horrorwood Hotel tributes in there, since that was a movie themed maze.
Sure.
So not like we're not gonna see Pinhead or Freddy Krueger Alien, but maybe like a little bit of the atmosphere from Horrorwood Hotel when we had it. Who knows?
We shall see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Moving on our list here is the next and our third and final new maze for this year, Room 13. Now, this is going to be located in the arcade adjacent to the Goring 20s Scare Zone. This area was formerly used as Trapped for Trapped Year 1, and this is going to tell us the origin. We're finally going to know the origin of the Devil's Elixir. It's going to be set in the beautiful, what looks to be the beautiful Argive Hotel. Will we check out of Room 13? I don't know, Nico. What are your thoughts, man?
I don't know. To add to your Trapped, so Carnival of Carnivorous Clowns' first year was in Windjammer, where Accelerator was. And then all of the years after that was in the Buffalo Nickel arcade, where Room 13 is now. So not a lot of history with Scary Farm there, but I'm excited that a maze is finally back in that area.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of worried about the arcade being next door, if they're going to keep it on.
Oh, sure.
Turn it off, because I don't want the noise from the arcade to bleed into the maze.
Sure.
Also, where are we going to enter for that maze?
Yeah, that's an excellent point, man.
Because you have the original entrance for Carnival of Carnivorous Clowns, which was on the other side of Johnny Rockets, where the boardwalk rides are.
Sure.
But then that maze is technically inside Carnival and then exits out into Goring 20s.
Right.
Or are we going to be entering in between the bumper cars and the restrooms and then going through the back door that is along the train tracks?
Right. Huh.
But yeah, I don't know. These are things I think about with my construction updates.
I mean, honestly, okay, think about this, right? They typically don't run the train during Scary Farm, right?
No, that will be a photo location most likely,
so
or an interactive lantern location.
Oh, it'll most likely be an interactive lantern location for sure. Yeah, that is very interesting. Maybe we enter kind of back where the restrooms are. Maybe they use the bumper cars as a queue. I don't know, man. We'll see. But that's a very excellent point.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I didn't have time to put it into the slideshow, but the concept art for the hotel make it look beautiful. So beautiful, man.
Beautiful and gory. I also think this might not be the scariest maze.
Sure.
At Scary Farm. So if you're bringing somebody new who hasn't been to the event before, well, I don't know because I haven't been through it, but I feel like this one might be lighter for a first timer.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
More than Chilling Chambers and Cinema Slasher.
Right. I think Cinema Slasher for sure of the three is probably going to be the hardest hitting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to probably be the most intense in terms of scares and just the gore factor for sure. But you're right. I think Room 13 is definitely going to be very pretty. Very, very pretty. Very much in the same vein as in Orlando last year. They had Dead Man's Pier, which was gorgeous, but definitely not the most scary maze. But you know what? I'll take it, man. It's nice to get kind of a little break from the constant terror.
What was that other maze? The Witch Brewery.
Oh yes. Maybe Ariana can help me with this one. Oh God.
But maybe we'll kind of have the feel of that.
Sure. Yeah, so. Absolutely. Yeah, kind of more less scary, but definitely super immersive still.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that. Checking out the comments here, Cardiac Productions in the house. What up, Forrest? Barry.
Witch's Coven.
Witch's Coven. Yes, that's what it's called. Witch's Coven. So ready for the geometric design. Yes, you can. I mean, I think you've posted it before, Nico. There is definitely, you can see a little bit of the construction over the wall. It looks like a chandelier.
Like a light fixture, yeah.
It's like a very 1920s
Spirits of the
chandelier.
Coven.
Spirits of the Coven. Yes.
Spirits
Thank you.
because of the alcohol. Yeah.
Yes. Spirits of the Coven. Yeah. Ariana, you were close. Witches Coven. Very close.
you got Coven. And they're witches, so.
Yes. Spirits of the Coven. Yeah. Again, beautiful maze, but definitely not the scariest or not the most intense. So I do have a feeling Room 13 will be kind of along those veins. But either way, I'm still very excited, and I'm glad they're finally giving us kind of the origin story of the Devil's Elixir. Because there was so much to learn there. There was so much to yet be explored. And honestly, y'all, I'm going to be a little controversial here. Like, listen, Ghost Town Streets, of course, respect, right? It's the OG. I mean, heavy hitters there, but Goring 20s, I love that scare zone, man.
Yeah.
I love it. The energy that it has from all the performers, the look of it, the way that it ties into, its surroundings. Obviously, Ghost Town looks great. I love what they've done with Carnival. Carnival also looks very boardwalky. It ties into the area, but there's just something about the Goring 20s, man. I remember the first time they had that band playing up on the balcony. Man, Blind Tiger. I remember the first time they had the band playing up there, and I was just sitting in the zone, drinking my hand, being like, where am I?
Yeah,
man? Like, this is so cool.
and then the clock chimes.
Yes,
and everybody freezes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What is happening?
Oh yeah, man! It is such a great zone, such a great zone for sure.
And I'm super excited that another scare zone is getting a maze.
Yes.
To go complement each other.
Yes, absolutely. And then, did I skip? Sorry, I'm checking my slideshow here, everyone. I guess I skipped one portion of it. I guess I did. That's dumb. Okay. Well, my apologies.
We're going back.
No, I guess I didn't put it in. But so now that we've talked about the 3 new mazes, we have to talk about the new scare zone. Speaking of scare zones, the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is going into Camp Snoopy. It's replacing the Hollow. It is a reimagined version of the long-running scare zone. It was around from 1996 to 2009. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That's a long-ass time, man.
That is
quite the legacy. So it's going to be a kingdom with maniacal gestures, brutal barbarians, wicked wizards, and lawless peasants. I am very excited for this one, man. I love a medieval theme.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a long time since we've gotten one at Knott's or really at any haunt. I mean, that's something that they don't touch on too much. So I'm pretty excited. And plus, Midsummer Scream, they had the D&D theme for the Hall of Shadows.
They did, yeah.
That was they did a great job with that. So Nico, what are your thoughts on the new scare zone, the Gauntlet?
Super. See, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Super stoked about it. I think it was one of the first scare zones I ever experienced at Scary Farm, because all I remember was going through Dominion of the Dead, Dominion of the Damned. I don't know, but it was in the balloon race, and it was still light out, and I just remember walking through it, and it was terrifying. And then, did you experience any of the monsters at the event? There was the King and Queen.
I missed that because I wasn't able to go. Kind of, were they in that backstage area? By Ghost Rider? Yeah. So I wasn't able to.
Fantastic.
Oh, I bet.
And then, back then, they had the Inquisition, and that complemented the Gauntlet.
Right.
But I'm just super stoked that the Gauntlet is back. I think it was a mistake taking it away. In my opinion.
Okay.
I did love the Hollows. I thought the Hollows was a very cool scare zone. Necropolis, I'm sorry, but no, thank you.
They tried.
They did. You got to take your shot, and that's what they did.
And listen, steampunk was real. It was the thing.
Yeah, but the Gauntlet, I'm super excited to be back, or for it to be back, and for me to walk through there and experience all the jesters. I know some of the original monsters that worked there when I was a kid will be returning. as jesters and so on and so forth. So
That's really fun. That's fucking awesome, man. I'm so excited
dope.
for that. All right, let's go to the comments real quick. Oh, the witching hour. Welcome, y'all. Yes, we do have Nico on the hotline. He's the man.
And I love you.
Christopher Chavez. Hello there. Thanks for
Hello.
joining us.
Yeah.
Ariana, damn Nico with the hot takes. Yeah. That's why we have him, folks. That's why we have him on, and plus the knowledge. Cardiac, yeah, the Hollow had a solid story at the beginning and then it died. You know, I never got to see the damn witch burnings.
That was such a cool experience. Having like some of the witch hunters like search for the witches, put them in jails and whatnot, and then burning of the Wicker Man on top of the rockwork.
I always missed that. I never got to see that, man. I don't know what it was. I was just never around at the right time for that. You missed the Headless Horseman. Was he around there too in the Hollow?
The Headless Horseman was on the Stagecoach Trail.
Oh, okay.
So maybe like above.
Sure. Yeah, very cool. All right, so now that we've talked about the 3 new mazes, we've talked about the new zone, we're going to start talking about the new shows. New with a question mark? The new shows. We're going to go and start with truly the one that we were speculating, but then we thought we weren't going to get, but then we ended up getting anyways. The Hanging. The Hanging is back, folks. The Hanging uncanceled. This time, though, it's going to be set at the Wagon Camp Theater. It's a return to form as the irreverent parody stunt show hosted by the Lawman, and it's going to be, I believe, written and directed by Jeff Tucker. I, for one, am pretty stoked to have The Hanging back in, well, I guess not back, but to have The Hanging in Wagon Camp. I have a long history with that venue myself. When I used to work in entertainment at Knott's, that was my venue. Like, quite literally, I was the venue captain there. I spent a lot of time at Wagon Camp, and I missed the stunt show. I miss having, stunt cowboys throughout Knott's, so this is pretty exciting for me. Nico, what are your thoughts, man?
It was good with Freddy and Jason, and then Freddy and Jason turned into like pirate Freddy and Jason, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. in my opinion. I'll watch it. I think the Wagon Camp is a fantastic place for The Hanging. But
I'm right there with you. I've got very mixed feelings about The Hanging myself. I'm excited to have a stunt show back, first and foremost.
Yes.
But let me tell you, I am a Sarah Marshall apologist now. When they were hanging her up at the end of the night at the preview event, I literally shouted, "Leave her alone!"
Yeah. Let her live her life, man.
Listen, the townspeople. Let's be real. The townspeople were assholes. Like, Sarah was just trying to do her thing.
You can't watch your children.
Exactly.
It's not her fault. Your animals died, maybe, but you can have some dinner. So, does this mean the blood packets are back? And if the blood packets are back, that's pretty close to the audience.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, spray
There's
zone.
gonna be yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not gonna fully bash on The Hanging until I see it.
Sure.
I'll say it's the most exciting show.
Oh,
it's my number 1 on the list.
Interesting.
But,
okay.
But yeah, I just hope that at least once a night they do have that Sarah Marshall hanging, because that was spooky.
Yeah, and you mentioned it at the reveal event. I think it would be kind of a cool way to end the night with the curse, or with her like kind of appearing in different places,
or one at midnight.
Sure, yeah, that'll be pretty fun.
Hurt. Except Sarah Marshall and the townsfolk.
That's true. Now, I'm gonna take a look at the comments here, but honestly, Ariana brings up a good point. Stoked for the new location, but wish they were returning to a more serious style like in 2019.
I agree.
I liked the balance of the serious and the kind of the parody. Nico, when you were on one of the last times, you did say that you wish that it was a more serious hanging.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with you, brother. I think it would really benefit from kind of just being more about Sarah Marshall and the town, and kind of highlighting the wrongs and rights of all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Sam, hot takes with Nico featuring the hotline.
I don't mean to. And
Sundays at 7.
Not if you're listening to this, I'm not bashing you guys. This is all constructive.
Indeed,
I want the best for you all. So don't hate me, please. Please.
Ariana, yes, we support women's rights and wrongs. Leave Sarah alone, damn it. Leave Sarah alone. A pro Sarah Marshall live stream. I mean, basically.
Sure is.
Yeah.
We were all cheering for her up top when she turned into the Green Witch.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, I had to tap you 5 million times on the shoulder to turn around.
You did, and I'm thankful you did. I'm thankful you did.
Turn around.
She's behind you. All right, moving on with the shows. We have, I guess, again, another question mark. New. It's a returning show. Dr. Cleaver returns. This one's going to be in the birdcage. And all that we kind of know about it is your favorite demented doctor is back for more Halloween hijinks. It seems to be, kind of a comedic show, kind of wacky, cartoony. It'll be nice to have, kind of some comedic relief for the night, I guess. Nico, what are your thoughts, man?
Meh. I'm not bashing it. It's just I've never seen the show.
Right.
There were a couple years where Dr. Cleaver was there, but I'm there to get scared. I want to go through the mazes as many times as I can, go through the scare zones as many times as I can. The Hanging, Elvira, and Puppet Up were the only 3 shows I cared about.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think Puppet Up would have worked great in the birdcage as a small crowd, but
sure.
I get it. The 50th, so you're going to bring back Dr. Cleaver. It was I think it was a pretty popular show. Clearly it was, because they're bringing it back.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
But I'm not against Dr. Cleaver. You just won't find me in line. If a show's about to happen, I'll be like, okay, my legs are tired. I'll watch Dr. Cleaver.
I need a break.
But I say that with this, but I also said this with Puppet Up the first year it came to the Scary Farm.
Okay.
My friends were all like, hey, we're going to go see Puppet Up. And I'm like, I'm going to go through mazes. And so I was like, maybe I'll give Puppet Up a chance. Turned out to be one of my favorite shows that I've seen at the Scary Farm. Sorry, Elvira and The Hanging. But Puppet Up was funny and amazing. And I saw it every night that I would go to Scary Farm. Maybe Dr. Cleaver will be that sleeper hit for me. Sure.
I mean, fingers crossed, right? We can only hope. And, speaking of Puppet Up, we're going to go on to the next show, which is this year in the Walter Knott Theater. Brand new show, this one for sure. Music, Monsters, and Mayhem. It's going to be a musical journey celebrating 50 years of Scary Farm based on mazes and entertainment offerings through the years. It's going to have a huge cast of dancers, singers, comedians. It's going to include original music written in-house, and it's going to be on for 3 shows a night. I don't know, man. I'm pretty stoked for this one. I must say. Again, I wasn't able to put it in the slideshow, but they have some concept art where it seems like Doll Factory is going to play a major role in it. Ghost Town is going to play a major role in it. What are your thoughts, Nico?
Again, I'm not a show guy. I'm not there for shows. Like bringing up Horror Nights. I skip Jabberwockies every single year. I've not seen one Jabberwockies show. Wow. I bet they were cool to look at. but I'm
Sure.
there for the mazes. I'm there to
Right.
get scared.
Right.
I will see the show just to see the tribute to Doll Factory and Ghost Town. I
Yeah.
don't know what other ones, but maybe I would have liked to see something else besides Doll Factory, since it's already going to be in Chilling Chambers.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
give a tribute to a different maze. Also, sorry, one thing with Cinema Slasher, I would have loved to see Hatchet High put in
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
high school slasher in that maze.
Yes. Yes.
But anyways, back to the show. I'm looking forward to it, question mark.
Sure. Now, see, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum from you. I do really enjoy going to see shows. And so I think in the grand scheme of things, if you're not bringing back Elvira, if you're not bringing back Puppet Up, this is probably the best alternative option you can have for a show inside of the Walter Knott. Something that's high energy, something that has good music, good dancing. They said it's going to be a little sexy, which, Halloween and sexy go hand in hand. Horror Nights Orlando has a great show out there that has been running for the past couple of seasons. I'm blanking on the damn name of
Nightmare
it now.
Fuel.
Nightmare Fuel. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're
Nightmare Fuel. Great show. It's got a little bit of magic. It's got a little bit of sexy. It's got really great music. And a little bit of I guess a lot of fire. The fire dances are really cool. So I think that all in all is a great show. I'm happy that they're kind of trying something like that. And plus, Knott's the entertainment in the past couple of years has been pretty damn good, man. They've put out some really good shows. So I'm pretty stoked for this. I hope they nail it. I hope they make it happen, the way that I'm kind of envisioning it. I will say, though, this, and I'm going to go to the comments real quick. Dylan brings up, I'm going to miss Puppet Up so much. During the live stream, if you were watching the live stream, the comments were lighting up. The chat was lighting up with people asking for Puppet Up. So I think there was definitely a pretty big demand for Puppet Up, and there was a lot of fans of that show, which, fortunately now, although you can't watch it at Knott, Puppet Up does have one-off shows that they do at the Jim Henson Studios and other venues. So if you really wanted to go watch them, that would be a pretty fun way to do it. I loved Puppet Up myself. I had a great time every time I watched it, but also every time I did kind of find myself hoping that it would be a little more spooky, like I wish that the puppets were even like, a Frankenstein or a mummy or, something like that.
I feel that.
But I think all in all, I am going to miss it. Puppet Up.
Me too.
Rest in peace. But yeah, man, so that's going to be it for all of the new announcements. Just a couple of things to touch on before we end tonight's stream. This is going to be the final year for Dark Entities. So, what?
So, I have a friend over at Old Time Thrills on Instagram.
Okay.
And he posted on his story the pin board. And the Depths also had a final year pin.
Oh, interesting. And see, when they announced Dark Entities, I realized that Dark Entities and the Depths premiered the same year.
Yes.
Now, what's interesting is they didn't mention the Depths. They didn't mention that at all at the announcement event. And I don't think they've mentioned it anywhere in their press releases that it's the final year. But you bring up an excellent point, Nico. The lifespan of a maze at Knott's is usually 5 years, 6 years if you're lucky, like Paranormal Inc. So
for a long time.
Right. Is the Depths possibly going to be a part of that list?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because also this is the first year that they've brought in 3 new mazes to the park in so long.
Yeah.
It's usually 2 mazes go, 2 mazes come in, 2 mazes go, except for 2001 because COVID happened. So all we got was that?
You said 2001. Something else happened in 2001.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, 2020.
Anyways. 2021.
Wrong millennial historical event. You want the other one.
I'll get there someday. But Mesmer was our only new maze for 2021. And I think I think Knott jumped into next year's budget, maybe. So maybe the pin was on the board, but the depths is staying one more year. And we're only going to get one new maze next year. Who knows? I'll be honest. Besides the ship and the Kraken, I won't really miss the depths if it leaves.
Oh, interesting.
It's a okay maze. It's a good maze. It's a good, pretty maze. But not my cup of tea.
Sure.
But I will...
It's another one where it's like, it's very pretty. Very pretty.
It is.
But
yes.
definitely not the most intense when it comes to scares.
Yes.
But I will say, the very first time you walk in, like the very first time I went through it, and we go into that sunken ship, the sunken battleship.
Yeah.
There's that guy, in the tunnel that has a trigger. That scared the crap out of me, man. Scared the crap out of me for sure.
Yes. And I know a lot of people are over Dark Entities, but I kind of liked it.
Sure.
I thought it was a dark, extraterrestrial maze. I at least loved it more than Alien Annihilation and some of the other 3D mazes or the Alien mazes that they've had.
Sure. Yeah,
I'll miss it.
I think Ariana brings up a good point here that it really never found its footing. I kind of feel the same way. They were trying every season, I think, to tweak things here and there. Little tweaks, but I don't think it ever got to what it is. However, as a big fan of like Alien, as a big fan of like sci-fi horror, I really appreciate what they were trying to do. I just always found myself like I enjoyed the comedy of it. The robots in there are freaking awesome.
Yeah, hilarious.
And very gory too. Very, very gory.
Yes.
I definitely though often found myself wanting it to like scare me more or to have more moments of like triggered action in the ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Dylan, me and my friend were the ones booing and then cheering for Dark Entity's downfall. Let me tell you, man, the crowd on that night, ooh, doggy. I mean, they were very active. It almost felt like a WWE show, man. Like
the hosts were getting quite offended at some parts.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. And then one final tidbit, unless you can think of anything else, Nico, or if anybody else can think of anything else in the comments, it is the first year that we're getting Bloodline without the laser guns. That is pretty huge news in my opinion. And I think, honestly, overall, an excellent choice. Now, this means, I think, that we're going to get more maze because the first scene and like the second scene, the gun distribution room, those are pretty big areas. I think all in all, we might get 2 new scenes that will give us a little bit more of the Bloodline story. Nico, what are your thoughts of going through a Bloodline without the guns, man?
Bless.
Yes.
Bloodline, I'm sorry. Worst maze for me of 2022. Not 2002, 2022. If you're not in front of the maze, or if you weren't in the front of the group, you missed everything.
Right.
Going into the bar, you couldn't hear the guy all the way up at the bar because you're all the way at the back by the door.
Right.
Same with the armory. Same with, everybody's shooting at the, what is it? The glass in the cathedral.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Great moment. But I mean, you missed it a lot. So
I will not miss the guns. I hope Bloodline jumps up a lot now.
Yes.
Because the guns are gone.
Yes.
But yeah,
I think it's a great choice. Focus on the scares. Yes. Focus on the story a little bit more because the maze itself was beautiful, gorgeous. But you miss a lot because you're so focused on who the hell am I shooting at? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was what I was about to say is I really didn't get to pay attention to any of the details because I was too focused on who do I shoot at? Why is this gun yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? There's nothing I could do.
Right.
But I'm excited that the guns are gone. It
Yes.
worked well for Special Ops Infected, especially since you had smaller groups than
Yeah.
Bloodline. I could go all night about that.
And apparently the
Just-
comments too. I mean, Dapper, there was no point to the guns anyway. I agree. I mean, there wasn't really any reward anymore to like rack up points or be the squad leader or whatever. You know what I mean? There really wasn't any point to it. Lex Chavez working in that maze, I think it's for the best they took the guns away. I mean, I could only imagine that it's tough to scare or to be in character when whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, you're just getting blasted by people. I mean, I can only imagine that's disorienting, kind of frustrating. Cardiac, thank God. I mean, I agree, dude. I definitely agree. Yeah, I like how they say armed with your wits this time. Like we're supposed to outsmart vampires now.
Okay.
Unless we ourselves are vampires in the story, right? We're not active participants anymore. We're not human friends. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So, like, is that going to make the story change of the maze at all?
Right. Because they did go way deep into the lore of like the good guys versus the bad guys. We'll see, man. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, exciting stuff either way. All in all, I'm super stoked for everything that we got going on this year. Yeah, Nico, any final thoughts, man?
Jeez, stoked for this year. The tribute store, the legacy store is amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't gone there yet, it is open to the general public. Just go out into the marketplace and you'll be able to go into the store. Did you get the book?
Yes, I did. Yeah, shout out to Ted. Ted's book is amazing. If you're a Haunt fan, you need it. I mean, look at that thing.
So, what I didn't know is it is signed by Ted already.
Oh, what?
Mine was, at least, when I got it the preview night.
Oh, interesting.
So, I don't know if you want to check yours to see if it's
I
already...
don't think mine is. So on the preview night, they said that they ran out. So I think maybe there was a limited quantity of pre-signed. What does it say?
It says Howl at the Moon, Beast Wishes.
Interesting.
But I'm like, you don't know it's me, Ted. Ted Doherty, and he signed it on the 24th.
Wow. Okay. So so that's what they were talking about then, that the book ran out. I'm sure they had a small batch of pre-signed books, which, by the way, if you do want to meet Ted and talk about his book, he does have signings that are happening in the Legacy store throughout the Haunt run. So take advantage of that. And, Ted's an amazing guy, awesome professor. If you ever get the chance to do his intro to creative writing for haunted attractions, it is an amazing class. I took it, and I mean, good God, dude. The first class in my life that I never wanted to end. Like, it was absolutely amazing.
And where did you take this class?
So I did it. Where did I do it? I know they're offering it now through the Themed Entertainment. I'm gonna have to look it up. But Ted does post about it when the classes open up. Yes, the Essential Art Department is what it's called.
Okay.
The Essential Art Department, which are actually people from Horror Nights Hollywood Creative, that started their own company to kind of teach people how to become part of the haunted attraction world or just kind of the themed entertainment world. So definitely keep an eye out for those. Those are amazing classes. But
all right.
Yeah, man. So outside of that, dude, that's pretty much it. I think I'm super excited for the 50th. I'm going to be there opening night for sure. Probably every Wednesday night, probably every Thursday night.
Yeah, after work, just show up.
Just show up. Oh, by the way, we did go and check. We asked about the commemorative 50th season passes for Haunt.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they have them yet. It's late August.
It's
quite late August.
It is. I didn't buy my lanyard yesterday because Until I have that pass in hand, I'm not buying that lanyard. So if
Sure,
you
sure.
want my money, Cedar Fair and Knott's Berry Farm, you better give us that pass.
You heard it here first, folks.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Well, two questions. What returning maze are you most looking forward to?
Damn. I mean, I love Origins. Origins is
is
great.
so good.
Yeah. I do love going through Origins every time for sure.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be my pick. Origins.
Origins is a good one.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to go with Mesmer.
Oh, Mesmer. Yeah. Mesmer's so good. So
Daddy
good.
Zoetrope.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a big boy right there. What's your second question?
If you could replace one of the mazes in Chilling Chambers, which one would it be, and for what maze?
Oh, damn.
While you're thinking, I'll go with mine.
Okay.
So I would put in Blood by You.
Oh, sure.
One of the most terrifying mazes I've ever been through.
Nice.
And my freshman year of high school, you're walking up. Have you been through that maze?
No.
Okay, so YouTube videos. There's YouTube videos.
Sure.
But there's a shack. And me and my friend are the only two people are in the maze because it's a Thursday night.
Sure.
So we're walking towards the shack. I'm trying to look through the boarded windows, like, please don't let the chainsaw guy be in there. And we're walking by, the doors fly open, and I start running. And we both start running. And this is towards the end of the maze. So there's like a quarter of the maze left.
Sure.
We ran all the way to the beginning of the maze, and the guy with the chainsaw chased us.
Amazing.
Yes, terrifying. And I think this is hard. I love Doll Factory, but I think I would replace Doll Factory since it's already going to be in the tribute show.
Sure.
I think I would replace Doll Factory. And I'd replace Doll Factory. No offense to whoever will probably reprise the role, but nobody could replace that doll in front of the dollhouse.
Sure.
She was 100% like the creepiest part of that whole maze.
Sure.
So that's my choice. Doll Factory, Blood by You.
Oh, man. I don't know what I would replace, but I know that we just lost it. But y'all, Paranormal Inc. was one of my favorites. We just lost it not too long ago, but I wasn't ready to say goodbye. And I would love to see it kind of live on because I'm working on a video where I talk about game-changing Knott's mazes, and that's one of them for sure.
That is
really
one.
It really did change the game for the event in the following year.
It really did, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It set the bar real high. So
yes, it did.
So I don't know which one I would replace, but I think that would be my pick for sure.
Okay.
Cool. All right,
we'll
Nico,
we'll just add it.
We'll sneak it in there. All right, where can everyone find you, sir?
All right, you can find me over on Twitter. Not going to call it the other name. At the ENT Connect. I don't even know my own handles. Instagram at Entertainment Connection, YouTube The Entertainment Connection, Facebook The Entertainment Connection, TikTok Entertainment Connection. If you type it in, if you see a splatter logo with EC, that's me. I don't know if you could see this, but no, you can't. Anyways. Could you get that small QR code? but that is where you could find me. Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on the show again, brother. It's always a pleasure talking Knotts and Haunts with you, man. We'll have you on again for sure because there's still so much more to talk about this season. So much more is going down, man. I really, really love what we have in store for us this season.
Yes.
Knotts, Horror Nights.
Just went to Universal today. They started adding the foliage foliage.
Yes, for The Last of Us, I saw that.
The plants, yes.
Yes, good stuff, man. Yes,
So.
yes, absolutely. Oh, hold on. Any tips for someone coming to LA for the first time this year, planning to do HHN on a Thursday, Knott's on a Sunday, and local attractions on Friday, Saturday? Oh, okay. Ariana, great point. Yes, arrive to the events early and well fed.
Yes.
I will be doing some tip and trick videos, but yes, arrive early, wear comfortable shoes. If you can afford it at Universal, get the Express because it really does help. If you can't get the Express, get the early entry. It's like at the most $20 a night, but it gets you into the park an hour and a half early. If you're doing LA Haunted Hayride, there's a lot of mud, a lot of grass, a lot of uneven pavements, a lot of sitting in hay. So dress accordingly. And hell, I don't know what else.
And for Horror Nights, I would say get early entry, but I believe Stranger Things 4 will be the most popular maze.
Yeah.
And that will be opening with early entry. So once you get into the park, make your way to Stranger Things, because that could get up to 3-hour wait.
Yeah.
Before the event even opens.
Right. And don't get stuck in the line though. I'll counter that with my tip. If you get down there and the line's like already half an hour, 40 minutes, try to find a shorter line, because you can probably hit that one dead last when everyone leaves the
end
event.
of the night. Yes. People get tired around like 11 or whatnot.
So
and
I almost missed that.
With Knott Scary Farm, if you there was get there early and well fed.
Yeah.
The buffet. You could be well fed, and then you get to go into the backstage mazes, which is Waxworks, The Depths, Bloodline, and Dark Entities early before everyone else, and you get to knock those out before the park even opens.
Absolutely. Buffet is definitely worth the price for the eats and for the treats.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. For those of you who joined us live, it's always a pleasure talking live with y'all. And yeah, man, Knott's Scary Farm 50th anniversary. It's going to be an excellent year. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Hauntline. You can visit us on the web, thehauntline.com, for links to all of our stuff. And until the next time, thank you for calling, and we'll see you in the fog.
So one more thing, really quick. One more thing. I got a text saying that we're not getting a physical Scary Farm pass.
Interesting. Well, I hate that.
Yes, hold on. Yeah. So
I hate that for us.
Sorry to end the stream like that, but
damn it. Okay, we'll see. I need official word from Knott's for that one.
See you in the fall.
See ya. Clingy. Bye, everyone.